Yo, what's going on everybody? This is KKai here, back again with a new episode of Epic 7 video. Today I'm going to talk about something interesting. So let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to talk about the top 5 heroes that used to be strong and overpowered in RTA, but not anymore. In PvP in general, I mean. So let's just get started. Up at the number 5, we're gonna have Charles. So as you can see here, I plus 15 my Charles because he was super strong. I think in Guild Wars, mainly because of this counter potential, right? Counter S1 proc into the S2 to do big single target damage and strips. He has a attack buff and the self defense buff. Pair up with the Albert Switcher sword, right? You're basically countering and doing a lot of damage. But in today's standard, he's not that good anymore because the kit is just too simple, right? Just damage, nothing else, and the damage is not even that significant because if you build him on counter, right, he's not HP scaling, and you need attack, you need tankiness, and you need a lot of stats, and just not that good. I have him on a min build, just for fun, in mock battles. And but as you can see, if you've been playing back in the days, you definitely would plus 15 a Charles, and that's how things works. It was super fun. At the number 4 spot, we have Valencia. I remember back in the days, she was super strong, super powerful, and that's why I plus 15 her. Right now, she is ungeared, naked. The E doesn't do enough. Mainly because I think she has this unique, right, strip and defense buff. Super strong, also HP scaling, right? Very tanky, hard to take down. And also with the armor break S1 into, another trample, right? Another S1 to do big nuke, single target nuke. I put in a lot of resource during her second banner because, I didn't have Valencia because I wasn't playing, right, when she was released. And I was super hyped, and then putting a lot of resources, even had a couple of imprints. But in today's standard, she just doesn't do enough. Like attack buff, defense buff was good, but it's not enough, right? We have a C Lilius that can put up the vigor, like both attack buff and defense buff, and also HP scaling bruiser. If you don't have solo potential, it's super bad, right? We have Ravi, we have Violet, all these different kinds of things that can kill Valencia, even Carrot, right? Charlotte. And unfortunately, I think Valencia right now is only a PvU unit. I think one of the best Valencia I've ever seen is from Shuffle. He was a great Valencia user, and he loves using Valencia, and back in the days, she was super strong. But I don't know about today's meta. I think Valencia is unusable in RTA. And hopefully Smougate can give her another chance, right, to buff her again. But it's very unlikely. Okay, up at the number 3, we're gonna have Seaside Bonita. Over here, as you can see, I have 2 copies of Seaside Bonita. One for the Wyvern one shot, right? This speedy damage one for Wyvern one shot, and this tanky lifesteal one for RTA purpose, right? PvP purpose. And yeah, like I remember there was a time when people first picked Seaside Bonita in RTA. That was before even like the release of Roana, and basically Seaside Bonita was that unstoppable force, right? Once you pick her, it's basically guaranteed win because she just sit there and then stacking up the focus while being very tanky, and then keep counter attacking AOE, right? Provide armor break, and just like a lot of debuffs. And plus this drink artifact, right, to proc additional damage. Basically just stack attack, right? High attack, high tankiness, hard to take down, and does a lot of damage. But later on, I think they realized that this unit was too overpowered, so they started this pattern of selling solutions to players, right, to PvP players. For example, the Roana, right, perfect example of countering Seaside Bologna. Basically, if you have a Roana on the board, you're free from Seaside, and not really free though, because you can still get unhealable. But you know, it's basically you are having a good chance of fighting against Seaside Bologna, right? And later they introduced like Solitary of the Snow, right, to stop the focus from stacking. And you know, all these counters are like Last Rider Crow. And right now in today's meta, we have like a Rimuru and the Violet, right? All are doing great into Seaside Bologna. So basically, Seaside Bologna is no longer like a safe pick, right? It's like a niche, last pick or fourth pick. When you see an opportunity there, you can pick the Seaside Bologna. Yeah, but she was once one of the best DPS in the game, like back in the days, right? Literally like a free win if you first pick Seaside Bologna. Yeah, so it's very interesting to see how the meta, right, the PvP meta has evolved like throughout the years. Okay, next one up at the number 2 spot, we're gonna have a Fire Bruiser, the Ravi. Right? If you have been playing RTA, right, for some time, you will know there is a season or like a short period of time where Ravi is super strong, like it's crazily strong, like on the top of the notch. Mainly because the Ravi was the first bruiser that can, you know, do a lot of damage and while sustaining herself. In today's view, right, we have a Ravi does the same thing, right? Better and can revive. But like back in the days, we don't have the a Ravi buff. So we have this Ravi, and people were memeing, right, saying that the Ravi is better than the ML version, and that was true back in the days. And as you can see, also plus 15 her with S3 has a stun potential, S2 like increase attack, right, combat readiness, S1 can heal and stun. Very strong and pair up with the secret side, right? You know, it's like unkillable basically, unless you bring like Seaside Bologna. But even that, you have a chance to get hit by the Ravi and get stunned up and just got killed. And yeah, and back in the days, Ravi was super strong, and even to a level where people were thinking like she's overtuned, right? Very toxic, and the ones they nerf right onto her. So when you look at these champions, you realize like why Smaug is not nerfing units. Like, but this should be another topic for another video. But some of the champion got overshined through times, right? Through the release of new champions, and you know, so there's no need for nerf. I mean, a nerf could be, you know, fixing this fixing the situation temporarily, but in the long run, like it's also costing resource for the company. Anyway, it's a digression, but you know that like Ravi was super strong back in the days. And right now in today's meta, I think if you have Ravi, that's good. But like she's not a must-have. It definitely no need to, you know, plus 15 her in RTA. Not like Seaside Bologna, you can still use her in PvE content, right? A beast, so it's like worth plus 15, and she has a niche. But Ravi right now, like there are too many good fire bruiser like Charlotte, right? Basically, Charlotte replaced the Ravi spot, and also you have Carrot as well. So they are all better options. Okay, for the number 1 spot, I'm not sure if you can guess who he is. When I look at this unit, I almost forgot like this unit exists in the game. But back in the days, he was actually super toxic and super strong. Actually, going to be Bazaar. As you can see, my Bazaar is ungeared at the moment. I remember back in the days, Bazaar was like, first pick or second pick, crazily strong. And there was like a time Bazaar was like on arena defense. You just put Bazaar there and you have like high speed gear on Bazaar, and you just push them back and unbuffable, and basically win from there, right? From the arena defense. But I think I don't know what happened to Bazaar. Basically, I think first of all, the Holiday Youthing release, right, is aiming at countering Bazaar. Basically, you cannot debuff Holiday Youthing, and then Holiday Youthing can cleanse and push up the team back. So basically, nullifies the Bazaar's kit. But even that, Bazaar was still strong in RTA because uh, and you can pick Holiday Youthing, but they're gonna ban your Holiday Youthing, right? If you don't ban the Bazaar, and then you're gonna lose from there. It's like that powerful. And right now, I think in today's meta, it's just like there are better speed hero, right? For example, we're gonna have another Water Bazaar getting released like this Thursday. Pereira, right, the newest hero, does the same similar things around unbuffable strips, and but like way higher base speed. When you look at Bazaar base speed, 108 is too slow. Like it's very hard to guarantee turn one, and also like he can miss on evasion unit. I think that's the main problem these days, right? You cannot hit the Violet, you cannot hit the Rylet, and also there's Angel of Light Angelica. Basically, it's a better version of Bazaar. Because you don't trigger anything. Bazaar can touch something and got countered, or push up a G Perkis, and then mess things up. But Angel of Light Angelica just provide that survivability and also like the silence, really strong. But Bazaar, like back in the days, right, when I was like first time trying to push for legend, I believe Bazaar was like a huge force, right? It's like a must have or something. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to make it. And the people high up was running like a 280 Bazaar, right? 290 Bazaar, something like really high speed Bazaar, just pair with a bulk, and then S3 and Sober and guarantee pushback, unbuffable. But yeah, I don't see him being picked anywhere in today's meta. But is it good? Still good, right? I think he is in certain scenarios. So definitely, like you can have one copy and build him ready, but like it's not necessary in today's view. Before we end the video, I have one honorable mention to talk about. That is General Purgis. It is actually really funny that there was one time General Purgis dominates the RTA meta, basically first pick material, right? You pick him or you lose the match or something like that. And mainly because this skills, right? Increase combat readiness after you being attacked, like 18% for our allies is really strong. Like it punishes like AoE super hard. Like, and people were like valuing this passive, and also he provides the attack buff and stun potential, and also like super tanky, right? HP scaling damage. I believe Smougate buffed him, right, to make him do a lot of damage while being very tanky, like the HP scaling. It is when General Purgis became like meta heroes. And but in today's view, like his kid is not that good anymore, mainly because he lacks sustain, and HP scaling units, if you don't have any solo potential, it's not good. In today, we have like a Ravi, we have Violet, right? We have Ram. Like all these units can solo like super tanky units, like the General Purgis. So he's not that good anymore. And but it was funny. Like back in the days, people were like ranging on this champion and was saying like General Purgis needs a nerf. And to be honest, it was true, right? It's just too much, right? Too much CR cycling, too much. You basically cannot bring any AOE. Otherwise, you're giving like the opponent too many speed advantage from by touching the general Purgis, and he definitely signified like an era of like an RTM meta, like G perk first pick, and people were running like Bazaar combo with General Purgis because Bazaar can push back and strips, and it's bad into General Purgis because General Purgis nullifies some of the pushback, and so when you use Bazaar with General Purgis, right, you have the attack buff guarantee like a stun potential, and also make your DPS to nuke down people super fast. And that's all the time I have for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed today's short video on the units that used to be super powerful but not anymore, and just like something interesting to look at, like how the game has evolved through time. And just keep in mind that I think E7 is gonna have this general trend of power creeping, meaning that new units are always gonna be better than old units, because it's a company, like they're gonna make units strong, right, to try to sell the unit. If they make new unit average, nobody's gonna swipe that credit card and buy the bookmark, right, for summoning. And I think the only reason they're gonna buff a unit is probably they trying to either buff a super weak unit, or they try to rerun the banner and try to sell off like the buffed unit. But anyway, that's all the time for you guys today. Hope you liked today's video, and I will see you guys in my next one.